Knowing that you clicked on this video, you already know what an iceberg is. I'm not gonna explain to you. With that being said, today we're discussing the Mughal Empire iceberg and its entry, specifically the top of the iceberg, because I do not have enough time to cover everything. So we're only gonna cover the first tier today. Yay! Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar was the third Padishah of the Mughal Empire. Basically, Padishah means emperor for anyone who doesn't know. But anyways, he was ascended to the throne very young. After his father Humayun died, he ascended the throne at age 10, I believe, and ruled under regency under Regent Bahram Khan until age 18. For the first while in his reign, he was very dependent on Bahram Khan because, well, he was a fucking child. Of course, he was gonna be dependent, and Bahram Khan had exercised a lot of power. But when Akbar turned 18, he finally reassumed power and dismissed Bahram Khan. Bahram Khan was not very happy about this and revolted, but Akbar subdued his rebellion, and Akbar surprisingly was a very merciful person, allowing Bahram Khan to go into Hajj, aka the mandatory pilgrimage for all Muslims in the world. Anyways, moving on to Akbar's actual reign, his reign was characterized by a period of stability and conquest. He doubled the size of the empire from Humayun's time. He conquered regions such as Bengal and Rajputana, and his reign actually saw a lot of religious tolerance, and Hindus particularly liked him a lot. But he was a bit questionable, especially with his religious preferences, but we'll get down to that later in the iceberg. Akbar died later on and was succeeded by his son Prince Salim, otherwise known as Mughal Padshah Jahangir. Zainuddin Muhammad Babur Shah was the Timurid ruler of Fargana and the first Mughal emperor. He was originally the ruler of Fargana, as I mentioned before. He spoke Uzbek and was an Uzbek ruler. However, the Shaybanid Uzbeks had ousted him from power, and he was forced to escape as a homeless dude at age 10. Eventually, he became the Shah of Kabul, and with the help of Shah Ismail of the Safavid Empire, he tried to retake Central Asia. However, he failed innumerable times, and because of this, he just decided to fucking give up on Central Asia and decided to invade India, where he established the Mughal Empire, and he didn't actually want to do it. He just didn't have any choice. Beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. And it's funny to think, because he didn't actually really want to establish the Mughal Empire. He just did it because India was the only place left for his ambitions, and he didn't even like India that much. The food was too spicy, and the weather was intolerable to him. He died absolutely despising his regnal life. Nasiruddin Humayun was the second Mughal Padshah. He immediately succeeded his father Babur, and he was almost the empire's last Padishah after he got deposed by Sher Shah Suri, who established the Suri dynasty. And for effectively 18 years, there was no Mughal empire, as he has fled to Iran along with his Mughal courtsmen. But he eventually returned and defeated Shah Suri, and he re-established control, and then he died by falling off the stairs and rushing for prayer. Yeah, don't rush your work, guys. Mughal, Delhi, and Agra were two of the empire's most important imperial cities. Agra was especially important under Akbar, serving as a major political and cultural center along the Yamuna River. Delhi became increasingly dominant later on, with several buildings made with a sector of the city known as Shah Jahanabad, and both of them served as Mughal capitals at one point or another. Mughal Padshah Shah Jahan was the fifth Mughal Padshah, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have much notable to talk about it here, so that's why I've connected him with the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal was built by Shah Jahan after his wife Mumtaz Begum died in childbirth. It is now associated with luxury, wealth, and as a symbol of love, even though he most definitely married another woman after she died. Abu Mufazzar Muhyiddin Aurangzeb was the sixth Mughal Pasha and quite possibly its most hated one. Aurangzeb's reign was marked with conquest and the subsequent instability of the empire. Aurangzeb had also expanded the empire to its greatest limit, however, that ultimately brought upon its downfall. Aurangzeb has a reputation of being a kind of a bigot and jerk. Some Hindu estimates say he killed 4.6 million Hindus, which, although he did kill Hindus, it's just an absurd number. The number is closer to 2.1 million or 1.2 million. But anyways, he was known for reinstating jizya and Islamic legalism in the empire and ending the secularism that is grandfather Akbar and his great grandfather Akbar and his father Shah Jahan Bad. I'm not going to go too depth into it because the iceberg later does go on to it, but Aurangzeb's reign is very interesting. Nuruddin Muhammad Salim Jahangir was the fourth Mughal Padshah. He was very into justice and court administration. Although after his father Akbar died, he was more of a puppet figure of his wife, who actually ran the empire. There's really not much to say about Jahangir, I'm gonna be honest. So for the rest of this video, because I am extremely tired of speaking continuously for a long time now, I'm just gonna go through a lightning round of explanations for the rest of them. For this part only, the rest of the videos that are upcoming will have more concise explanations. So without further ado, let's get into it. Rajputana was the historical region of northwestern India dominated by Rajput kingdoms. The Mughals spent much of their history dealing with these states and tribes, which were very diverse. Akbar in particular successfully brought many Rajput rulers into the Mughal political system, although Mewar remained a major political opponent. The peacock throne was a symbol of was a symbol of the Mughal wealth and imperial power. It was a jewel encrusted throne commissioned by Emperor Shah Jahan in 1739. Persian ruler Nader Shah invaded Delhi and carried the throne away as a part of an enormous treasure sack. Its exact fate afterward is uncertain and mysterious. Din-e-Ilahi was an elite spiritual order associated with Akbar, created around 1582. Despite often being called a new religion, it had very few followers, and it seemed to center around Akbar himself. And it seemed to believe Akbar as like a almost divine being of sorts. And yeah. Bahadur Shah Zafar, otherwise known as Bahadur Shah II, was the last Mughal Padshah. By his reign, the emperor's actual power had been reduced to Delhi and its surroundings. During the Indian Revolt of 1857, rebels proclaimed him their symbolic leader, and after the rebellion failed, the British exiled him to Rangoon in Myanmar, where he died in 1862. The Mughal Wars of Succession. The Mughals had no firmly established rule of primogeniture, meaning the throne didn't automatically go to the eldest son. This repeatedly produced brutal succession struggles through the princes. Shah Jahan's sons famously fought for the throne, ending with Aurangzeb defeating his brothers and imprisoning his father. The Red Fort in Delhi was built by Shah Jahan after he moved the capital from Agra to Shahjahanabad. It became one of the main centers of Mughal government and court life. Gur Khan Timur was an Iranian warlord and the founder of the Timurid Empire. The Mughals claimed descent from Timur, the Central